Now, the Cystic Fibrosis Trust are our charity partner this year, not just because they're a deserving cause, but because they're committed to UK biomedical research. They want industry engagement to help them shape their research strategy going forward, and we look forward to partnering with them on that this year. And it's my pleasure to introduce Oli Lewington. Oli.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me here this evening. Thank you for having us, and thank you to the BIA for choosing the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. I was incredibly excited when I was asked to come and speak to you for a few minutes before you started eating this evening, because the 4-year-old me would be going bananas at being in a room with a dinosaur. And I'm trying really hard not to be offended by the fact that it's turned its back on me. I'm here to talk to you about cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is the UK's most common life-threatening genetic disease, and it's also horrible. It's deadly, it's depressing, and it's destructive. I was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when I was 18 months old, and my parents spent most of my formative years being told that I wasn't going to live more than a couple more. When I was born, I was expected to live till I was 3. When I was 3, it was 7. When I was 7, it was 11, and the doctors gave up guessing at 13. 5 years ago, I had a double lung transplant, which has made my job this evening so much more difficult, because I used to speak at events like this by turning up, dragging an oxygen cylinder behind me, standing in front of people looking like death, and saying, "CF is really awful, give me your money." And people would look at me and go, "Wow, CF is really awful, I need to give him some money." And now I stand up and I say, "CF is awful," and people go, "Really?" I can't actually put into words the difference that a transplant makes. And it's very, very difficult to explain the horrors of a life spent with failing lungs. All I can do is try to impress upon you how difficult it is to live a life where you watch so many of your friends die from the very thing that may well end up killing you. The reason that I'm here this evening to talk to you all, to represent the CF Trust, is because of the work that they do, and because of the work that everybody in this room does to enable the advances that have happened to keep me here, to allow me to stand before you and speak. If it wasn't for the research that people in this room do, if it wasn't for the funding that people in this room provide, if it wasn't for the support and the publicity from people in this room, none of the advances that kept me alive would have happened. I'm here purely because of the work of the CF Trust, the BIA, and the people within this room. I would never wish for a life, my life, without CF, because I believe incredibly strongly that everything we go through in life makes us who we are. But just because I wouldn't want to change anything that's made me the man that stands before you today, nor would I wish anything that I've been through on my most mortal of enemies. It's vital that we continue to do the research that stops cystic fibrosis from killing people. Thanks to the advances that have been made in recent years, children being born with CF today face the very real possibility of living a full, healthy, and active life. They have the very real possibility of being able to choose what they want to do with their life and not have to qualify it and make exceptions because of their health. Evenings like tonight and the support that you can provide over the next year with the support of the BIA will help to ensure that those aren't just real possibilities, but actual, factual realities. I'm here to ask you to donate. I'm here to ask you to put your hands in your pockets and fill the envelopes on your tables with your generosity. I'm here to ask you to put your hands in the air and bid up on the auction items. Even if you don't win, maybe bid them up so the person that does win has to pay a little bit more. I'm here to ask you to give your continuing support to the CF Trust and the work that it does for children being born with CF today, for the children who were born with CF when I was born with CF, who are still fighting, who are still battling through. But most of all, I'm here to say thank you for everything that you do. Not just for me, not just for people with CF, but for all of the medical communities that you guys support. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the food, enjoy the drink, enjoy the auction. Thank you very much. Enjoy your evening.